What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Diaries of a Blind Coach. I'm super excited to be back. Let's get into the video. I'm going to be talking about the 5K today. But before I get into the video, I can't start this video without shouting out my daughter. Say hi, Kim.
Hi.
All right, it's a daddy and daughter duo today because my nephew is not feeling well, but he'll be back with us next week. So definitely a daddy and daughter moment right now. Okay, so hey, let's get into the video. Okay, so I was in Lusaka. I came for this 5K, but before the 5K, I was invited to an event, an auction by Pestalozzi at See the World Foundation, and it was awesome because you know how Netflix does audio description. Well, the auctioneer was basically my Netflix, right? And he done an awesome job. He was describing these pictures like I could see them. He was literally painting out the pictures. And he didn't even know that it wasn't for my benefit. But in general, the kids who painted the pictures gave an amazing description of the pictures and they really, really sold them. It's a shame I don't have any to show you guys, but trust me when I say these pictures were amazing. All right. Okay, so day of the 5K started it off. I was with my brother, and it was scary to say the least because I rarely walk. I mean, I walk around town. I'll do my physical exercise kind of in my bubble and in my circle. But other than that, if I'm walking, it'll be with my assistant, and we'll crack on. But it's mainly in the CBD, and that's about it. And I'm knackered usually when I get back home. So this 5K, I was kind of looking forward to it, but I'm kind of thinking, this is gonna suck. Am I gonna make it? But I did. I did get through. It's actually encouraged me because I actually do want to now do more and maybe run the 5K for the next marathon coming up, which I think is next year. So hold me to that. All right. So, anyways, so we smashed on. Now you've got to remember, me doing this walk, it's an everyday thing for me. All right. I live this every day. So for me, it wasn't so much of an experience because I do it every day. But the experience that I had is getting the chance to see able-bodied people experience our world, and that for me was interesting. So I was on my ear and listening to everybody's comments and seeing how everybody's taking it. Everybody was nervous. You're going up the hump and you're kind of scared. But it's one of those things when you first lose your sight, in my case, you got to put all your trust into your guide. And it's scary, especially the fact that we were doing this on the main road and there were cars literally right next to you. And if you know anything about being blind, anything around you, you kind of think is gonna hurt you. There's a lot of times where I'll be home, I'll be lying in bed, I listen, and it's windy and leaves are blowing, and you're kind of thinking, "Oh my God, is that a thief? What's going on?" So your mind plays a lot of tricks on you. So even when you're walking and the traffic is right next to you, you're kind of thinking, "Oh my God, he's literally right here." But in most cases, it was kind of in the other lane, right? Because it was kind of a lane divider in between. But it's amazing how your senses go on overdrive and you kind of hear everything. You kind of smell everything as well. There was a situation where somebody had thought we're going past the petrol station, but in general, somebody was putting gas in their truck. But that smell of gas, thinking, oh, it's normal to think we're passing a petrol station. So those kind of things allow you to see the world in so many different ways, and a lot of people don't realize. So this blindathon was amazing for a lot of people who are able-bodied. Okay, but in true fashion, there's always haters. There are always haters. So when I was doing my driving lessons, when I was learning to drive, my instructor would always tell me pedestrians are always right, and you got to always give space deliberately. Go right wide, go really, really wide, and go right past the people. Don't go right here. Yeah, my Zambian brothers and sisters, though. We want to go past people right here, right next to them. And it's unfortunate because a lot of cars were getting impatient. A lot of cars were hooting for us at the back and kind of hurrying us along when this was supposed to be an experience where you take your time with it. And I wish we were a little bit more patient. I do wish. I think it's just kind of getting that rid of that stigma, And if anything, we had a little bit of an incident where a little girl was walking with a cane. We had a group of kids, and some of them made it all the way to 5K, and shout out to them. But we had a little girl. She had a cane like mine. Okay, so she had a cane like mine, and she's walking, doing her thing, and a car, very inconsiderate, came up and ran right over her cane. That's how close the cars were getting to us. So that was scary. And Hakeem got run over. And if you're a driver out there, when you've run over something. Literally, you can literally run over the smallest thing. You can feel it because you're one with the car. So I know he knows, but it's unfortunate because these kind of events can easily put somebody with a disability back into the shell. And you kind of get to a stage where you feel the world is not for me. I gotta be indoors, But I want to remind people such events will happen. There will be such people, you know. Actually, let me tell you a quote that I heard, which was really, really cool. A lot of times, God will give us ordained challenges, blessings in disguise, or they're disguised as problems, and challenges, right? But in reality, these are blessings. And why I say this is the kids didn't get discouraged, especially the girl who lost her cane. She continued and soldiered on with her cane, even though it was bent, and continued on. So for the person who done that, if you're ever watching this video, we're not going to stop. You know what I mean? We're going to continue coming because at the end of the day, this world is for everybody, regardless of whether you have a disability or not. And such behavior should never be tolerated by anybody. We should be inclusive and we should want to know and appreciate everybody. Okay. So I just wanted to say that, and I love how the kids' determination soldiered on. They looked at that and say, this could be a challenge. This could be, a thing for me to give up. But instead, they looked at it and think, okay, fine. This is how people are. Let's move a little bit to the left, all the way to the left now, and soldier on. And they continued on. We did manage to straighten out her cane at the end, but hey, what can we do? This is sadly sometimes you have people like this in the world, right? So hey, I got the 5K done. I was super excited. As I said, I do wanna smash on and do a 5K next year, and it was exciting. That experience was amazing, and we done with the 5K. I headed over to Pestalozzi to now talk to the kids, and that in itself was fun. It was just one of those days. It was like a Hollywood kind of day, and I felt good about it. Don't forget to book your favorite coach, guys. You know what I mean? Give me more of these days. Your boy's a motivational speaker now. So I headed over, spoke to the kids, and that was awesome. I remember one of the kids came up to me and after the speech and said, "Hey, you're a basketball player. What do I need to do to be a basketball player?" And I thought that was an interesting question. And I kind of told him you got to stick with it. Where focus goes, energy will flow. And with anything you want to do in life, you got to put your 10,000 hours in. And you got to keep at it, keep at it, keep shooting that ball in this kind of instance. So I love how people want that determination, and the kids of Pestalozzi, even just kids who are going through things like a disability, they have that inner confidence to say, "I'm not going to stop, and I'm going to continue." And that's what we need. We're not going to stop. So I spoke to the kids, and that was awesome. Then I had to travel back, and this was an experience in itself where I had to travel back on my own, right? And again, me traveling such a long distance, this was new. So I jumped on the bus, and I was blessed. God puts a lot of people, angels in your life, where you're not alone. And you know how we spoke about that loser who ran over the kids cane? Well, now you see the other side of the coin. You see how Zambians can be a blessing. You know what I mean? There's far and few between of that loser. You know what I mean? But the majority is Zambians are amazing people. Where a lady who didn't even know me took me under her wing and we chatted the whole way through. She asked me, "Do you need water? Do you need this? Do you need that?" And it was fine, you know what I mean? And it made the trip enjoyable. I didn't feel alone, and you could kind of feel safe, you know what I mean? And I didn't even get her name up until we got to Kitwe, so that was interesting in itself. And you kind of build that community to know, okay, there are some people who got you. So that was cool, right? So that's a little bit of what I wanted to tell you about my trip. I just want to encourage everybody to say, put your 10,000 hours in, because whatever you do, as I said already, where focus goes, energy will flow. Okay, if you agree with what I'm saying, please give me a come on coach in the comments. You know what it is. And going forward, I do want to make my videos a little bit more fun. So you're not gonna kind of see me sitting in my next kind of videos. This series is gonna be super, super fun. Remember I spoke about the basketball, right? So maybe one in my next videos you might see your boy, your favorite coach, shooting one or two things, one or two balls. If I get it in, you guys better hit that subscribe button. You guys better do. But listen, if you've enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. As always, share the video with you who you think might like this. We've got to motivate each other and we've got to stay motivated. Challenges will come in life. We can't stop that. I said this in my last video. We can't stop it. But at the end of the day, we've got to look at a failure as an opportunity. All right. Listen, I'm going to see you in my next video. Please don't forget to donate. Right. Number is in the description as usual. And again, hey, my plugs, I'm going to plug myself. So follow my pages as well, as Coach Sydney, your motivational speaker. So my handles will be in the description as well. So, do your favorite coach a favor, follow. All right, I'm going to see you in the next video, guys. Salute.